this country is in shock. The Premier addressed the nation last night and to announce his new tax initiative. But this new initiative was dropped on the people of the Turks and Caicos Islands like never before in the history. Honorable Selva, one can say that this new tax initiative, one of the reasons why this is being implemented is because of the very high cost of these new hospitals. Can you tell us, what is your views on these new taxes that the Premier is about to actually kill the people of the Turks and Caicos Islands with when it comes economically?
Sean, in my humble opinion, the Premier is using social goods. What I mean by social goods, hospitals, schools, and similar capital projects to win the sympathy of the people and to make them believe that this increase in tax that they are going to have to bear is justifiable because it's going towards a social good. Now, there has been serious mismanagement of public funds. Right? Even the Premier admit that he has to cut back on expenditure. When I was a member of the Legislative Council, for the 3 consecutive years they were there, they always overspent 30% more than they budget for. Always 30% more than what they budget for. If they budget for to spend $100 million, at the end of the year they end up spending $130 million.
Okay.
And that has become a bad habit with them. And so what this government is appealing to the people,
yes,
is for them to contribute towards this mismanagement of public funds that they have been, doing for so much years, as if, that is the way to do business. And, Sean, if you look at this here is a special report of the Chief Auditor.
Special report.
On the system of audit of the Grand Turk Hospital. So this isn't something that I wrote. This is something that all of the ministers have. And what we find, Sean, is that every year there is a serious over expenditure into the millions that is being involved at these various facilities, whether in Provo and Grand Turk. But when you look at against the backdrop, you got 4 or 5 years of over expenditure, and this government, when the auditor went in, found that management did not formulate health strategies and policies.
So they had no strategies and policies.
Right? They just went go with the flow.
Okay.
There was a lack of adequate inventory system and procedures. Now let me show you the danger in this. If, for instance, you buy $100,000 worth of goods, whether it's medicines or what, and you don't have a proper inventory system.
Correct.
So what you do, you take it and you just put it in the warehouse or in your storeroom. All right?
Yeah.
When it's time to use it, the stuff you put in there, that is the stuff you're going to take out first. What happened to the stuff that was behind that has an expiry date that is approaching?
Yeah, especially
there is no proper rotation of your inventory. So when you actually go and do a check, you have to discard hundreds of thousands of dollars of pharmaceuticals because of improper inventory control. Right? So that's wastage, and that is what this government is asking you to contribute towards. Okay. It also says there's no policy on the transportation of the deceased from abroad. So they make up the policy
as they go
along as to how they would deal with persons who die overseas.
Okay.
And we know that some of them, you know, their funerals cost government you know, thousands of dollars. I mean, you know, into the double digits. Also, the auditor found that there was a problem with the payments were not in accordance with procedure. All right. So if you find that persons who are responsible for paying are not following procedure, that gives room for either making double payments, you're overpaying, and if there isn't some honest suppliers out there who will send the check back, say, well, listen, I would have already been paid for that. That would go just like that, you know, and it goes on and on to show you where there is wastage. For instance, no reconciliation of salaries and wages. We know that this government, what they are doing is they are using government as a means of providing their supporters with income. Some of them are not working, but they have a job, and they go every week and they collect their pay, but they are not working. And so you find that there is no reconciliation, because if the budget say that there was supposed to be so many salaried staff, so many wages staff, there's no reconciliation, and the money is just being paid out. Therefore, you find that there is serious over expenditure, and the government is now coming back to the people, asking them to contribute to this type of mismanagement.
Well, Honorable Salva, as we can see here in the Turks and Caicos Islands, as the Premier announced his tax initiative last night, the Premier is asking this country now to pay taxes or medical tax. He announced that the departure tax will now be increased. He did not say how much it's going to be increased by. He did not tell the people of this country how much we're going to have to pay in medical tax. But he also said that we will be taxed for a new airport, expansion of the airport. He also said that we will be taxed for the building of the 2 hospitals. So we get a medical tax separate. Then we get a tax again for building of the hospital, and tax for his environmental initiative. Now, Honorable Salva, the people of this country have watched the Premier over the last 4 years. He has played around the world with the treasury of the Turks and Caicos Islands at the expense of the people of this country, and now he's asking them to pay. He played and we got to pay. But Honorable Salva, as a former policy maker of this country, you have over